Beverly is willing to testify under oath to the statement that she will be making today. We urge the United States Senate Judiciary Committee to hold a public hearing as soon as possible. Beverly is willing to voluntarily appear at such a hearing to testify under oath. She is willing to answer any questions that the senators might ask her relevant to her allegations against Mr. Moore. We believe that the Judiciary Committee should subpoena Mr. Moore to answer questions under oath regarding his alleged conduct with Beverly and the other accusers.
I was attending Gadsden High School. I worked at the old Hickory House, which was on East Meagan Boulevard, off of Highway 431 in Gadsden. When he was at the restaurant, he would speak to me and would sometimes pull the ends of my long hair as I walked by him. I had red hair down to my waist. He would compliment me on my looks, and I did not think anything of it.
He says, he signed it to her, we didn't give her name, but he said, to a sweeter, more beautiful girl, I could not say.
And he asked me if he could write in my yearbook, and I felt flattered, and I said yes. He wrote in my yearbook as follows: to a sweeter, more beautiful girl, I could not say Merry Christmas. Christmas 1977. Love, Roy Moore, Old Hickory House.
That's the yearbook.
Was my name.
And her name is on the outside, so that is her yearbook, Beverly Young, which was her.
He noticed that my boyfriend was not there, and he offered me a ride home. I trusted Mr. Moore because he was the district attorney. He stopped the car and he parked his car in between the dumpster and the back of the restaurant where there were no lights. The area was dark and it was deserted. I was alarmed and I immediately asked him what he was doing. Instead of answering my questions, Mr. Moore reached over and began groping me and putting his hands on my breast. I tried to open my car door to leave, but he reached over and he locked it so I could not get out. I tried fighting him off while yelling at him to stop. But instead of stopping, he began squeezing my neck, attempting to force my head onto his crotch. I continued to struggle. I was determined that I was not going to allow him to force me to have sex with him. I was terrified. He was also trying to pull my shirt off. I thought that he was going to rape me. I was twisting, and I was struggling, and I was begging him to stop. I had tears running down my face. At some point, he gave up. And he then looked at me and he told me, he said, "You're just a child." And he said, "I am the district attorney of Etowah County. And if you tell anyone about this, no one will ever believe you." He finally allowed me to open the door, and I either fell out or he pushed me out. I was on the ground as he pulled out of the parking area behind the restaurant. The passenger door was still open as he burned rubber.
Okay. And then we have something else to show you.
My husband and I supported Donald Trump for president. This has nothing whatsoever to do with the Republicans or the Democrats. It has everything to do with Mr. Moore's sexual assault when I was a teenager.
Right here. Okay, so right here, you could point to that photo if you would, please.